let's continue our all-in-a-day's drive journey with our neighbors in South Shelby County.
Hello, my name is Bobby Joe Seals, and welcome to Columbiana. A wonderful collection of our county's rich history can be found inside this most significant and perhaps the most historic building in Shelby County. Let's go inside and begin our museum trail. Inside this building is the most popular room, Vault Number 1, that houses the Shelby County original courthouse records dating before Alabama became a state. This is the Christian Davis room that contains the coal, iron, and railroad artifacts. For an example, the forgotten coal mine, Gurney Coal Mines, that was operating during the war between the states. And this bell that is from the locomotive Alabama. The Alabama ran into Shelby County at Montevallo on July the 4th, 1853. There was an all-day barbecue to celebrate this event. And here in the Harrison Room is a genealogist and historian paradise, where people from all over the United States come to do their family history and to research their ties to Shelby County. Another one of the museum rooms houses the old Shelby Iron Works commissary desk. The commissary closed in 1923. Resting on the desk is the typewriter that was used by Mildred White Wallace, probably one of the most famous journalists in Shelby County history. There's so much more to see in the Shelby County Museum and Archives than time allows. Please come and visit us soon. Located behind the Shelby County Courthouse in Columbiana is the Carl C. Harrison Museum of George Washington. Inside you'll find Miss Bonnie Atchison, a true treasure of Shelby County.
What you're seeing now is a sculpture of George Washington that was made when George was 54 years old by Houghton, the famous sculptor. And then we have other artifacts, the daguerreotype likenesses of George and Martha that were made about 9 years before George's death. We also have Martha Washington's Bible. It's a very beautiful Bible that was printed in London in 1783. Her letterbox is on display. Then we also have letters from George Washington that was written in 1775. The original sketch of the grounds of Mount Vernon by Samuel Vaughan and George Washington in 1787. The grounds have not changed. They're the same today as they were at that particular time. And we have a portrait of George Washington when he was 40 years old. He is wearing the uniform that he wore in the French and Indian War. He was a colonel in the British militia. This is a corner cabinet that was at Mount Vernon. It was made by William F. and housed in the cabinet is 207 pieces of a Minton china that was from the Augustine Washington estate. At the table to my left is the Minton china that was George and Martha's. Green and white was his favorite colors. Over the table you have a portrait of Martha Washington, and she was about 23, 24 years old when that portrait was made. In this cabinet we have the original letters of several of our early presidents: John Adams, John Quincy Adams, James Madison, James Monroe, Benjamin Harrison, John C. Calhoun, who served as governor in one of our colonies. Last but not least, here in Columbiana, we have the coin silver that was made at Mount Vernon in 1785. At that particular time, there was very little silverware, and so they melted down their coins and they made forks and knives. Later, spoons were added. We hope that you will come to Columbiana and visit with us at the Carl C. Harrison Museum and visualize how it might have looked in the 1700s with George and Martha.
Travel back in time at the Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum in Calera, as it's all in a day's drive in Shelby County.
Welcome to the Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum, located just south of Birmingham in Calera. The Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum is the official railroad museum of the state of Alabama. Our museum features operating standard gauge and narrow gauge trains, 2 restored depots, an indoor collection of railroad artifacts and memorabilia, and an outdoor collection of railroad cars, locomotives, and cabooses. The museum is dedicated to the preservation, restoration, and operation of historically significant railway equipment. Our exhibits, operating railroads, and educational programs function as both a unique means of tourism and recreation, and also a way to preserve the rich history of Alabama and our nation. The Calera Depot houses a collection of railroad artifact displays focusing on the history of railroads in Alabama. Exhibits include railway lanterns, locomotive headlights, rail cross-sections, and passenger train china and silverware. The Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum is open through December 17th of 2012 on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There are also opportunities to visit on Sundays when special trips are scheduled. And we have many special events at the Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum. The next event coming up is Wild West Day, July 28th, with 3 separate shows at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. Travel back to the 1800s and experience life in the Wild West. Enjoy a train ride through the forest of Shelby County, but hang on to your gold and valuables just in case you're waylaid by desperados. Warning, the Black Hat Gang is known to hold up this train. Enjoy old-timey Western tunes with Mr. Jim at the depot, and bring your camera for photos with the Outlaws. We hope you'll visit us to ride a train, to look at our museum collection, and learn more about Alabama's railroad history. For more information about this and other events at the Heart of Dixie Railroad Museum, check out www.hodrrm.org.
Just 5 miles south of Columbiana is the historic Shelby Iron Works, the largest supplier of iron to the Confederacy. Museum Director Dan Vallis will tell us more.
Inside our museum, you'll learn a wide variety of history about the historic Shelby Iron Works that operated for over 60 years, and also the community that surrounded it. Here in the museum, you learn a wide variety of not just the history, but also the science of iron making, how they turned things into iron objects. You learn how the company impacted the community, because Shelby was a company town. That meant the company ran the stores, it ran the schools, it provided the churches. The company was involved in a lot of the aspects of daily life in Shelby, not just the industrial side. Even the train which ran from Calera to Shelby was owned by the company and was used for shipping iron, and eventually expanded to Columbiana. In our many exhibits, you'll see and learn the science behind iron making, the different ingredients, how they pulled the iron ore out of the ground, refined it into a usable product, the actual processes and the buildings that they used here to melt down the iron, as well as the steps that are involved in casting and making molds out of iron. You've seen just a little bit of the history of the Shelby Iron Works. We are open for tours by appointment, so if you'd like to learn more, check out our website, shelbyironworks.com, and you can view our contact information.
On a peaceful hillside, 5 miles west of Shelby Iron Works, on Shelby County Highway 42, rest the remains of over 200 Confederate and Union soldiers. The Confederate Army established a soldiers' home and hospital here from 1863 to 1865 as a part of the CSA Camp Wynn training site. Father LeRae and the Sisters of Mercy staffed the hospital after fleeing Civil War destruction in Vicksburg, Mississippi. They brought with them by train many wounded and sick Confederate soldiers. This existing public cemetery was expanded for those soldiers who died of battle wounds and illnesses. Lay down your arms, close ranks, rest in eternal peace.
Coming soon to the Shelby County Museum Trail is the Alabama Firefighters Museum that will be located in Calera. This museum and education center will feature a historic collection of firefighting apparatus, tools, memorabilia, and toys. It will be located on Highway 25 off exit 228. So make plans to come and join us soon to learn more about the heroes that serve our communities as firefighters. Make sure to check out ShelbyCountyMuseums.com for more information.
Our last stop, with its all in a day's drive journey in Shelby County, is here at the Aldrich Coal Mine Museum in Montevallo. Mr. Henry Enfinger will now tell us more.
The Aldrich Coal Mine Museum is dedicated to preserving the Alabama coal mine industry. We have some great exhibits to show the public. This building here was the Montevallo Coal Mine Company store, built in 1928, and it served the coal miners' families until 1942 when the coal mine closed. My main focus is the coal mine. This is a great exhibit, and people will enjoy going down into the coal mines and experience what our coal miners experienced at their work. There were 4 types of coal mining. We had the slope mine, we had the shaft mine that went straight down in the earth, then we had the strip mine that stripped all top layers off, and then we had the drift mine that went straight in the mountainside, and that was on the water level. We also have Farrington Hall. Now, Farrington Hall is a building that was built by Mr. William Farrington Aldrich. He retired in 1905, and he decided to build a private office, library, and recreation center for his family. And the building was completed in 1908. So we have some great exhibits there also, and I believe everyone will enjoy seeing the murals that we have. We have 5 murals that was painted by Mr. Giuseppe Moretti, the man that created Vulcan in Birmingham, and it has been authenticated that that is his work, and we're very pleased that we have those. I want to say thank you to the ones that's producing this. It's a great opportunity for us to let other people know about our museum. We love to have senior adults, we love to have young adults, we love to have children to visit our museums. And you can also see us on www.ShelbyCountyMuseums.com.
What you have seen in the last few minutes is only a portion of the wonderful places to visit in Shelby County. If you need more information, visit us at ShelbyCountyMuseums.com. I'm Bobby Joe Seals, giving everyone a special invitation to come and see us in Shelby County soon.
Now that we've been on a great tour, feel free to find out more information about our stops on this all-in-a-day's drive journey at SylacaugaChamber.com and ShelbyCountyMuseums.com. Thank you for joining us for All in a Day's Drive.